Okay, we're back again. I've pulled some more things together and we're going to see how it works. I know I'm going to need a ribbon for the hat to tie it with. I don't have any nice wide ribbon that's not kind of expensive. I have some pretty silk stuff that I use for my books, my lace books, and I don't want to use that. But I did have this. This is some vintage ribbon. I've never seen this before. Here's the little spool that came on. Bowen Dungan Company from Philadelphia. It's got paper in between the rows. So I cut 2 strips of this, and this is going to be what ties the hat, the bonnet, whatever, under the chin. So I'm going to use that. I've kind of gone through some of the stuff that I was thinking about using, and I ended up deciding on using this trim, which I bought at a shop here locally. They were, at the time, I thought going out of business, so I kept going back and buying more and more. You know how that goes. But that's what I've got of it. I just pulled out my last little piece of it. I'm going to have to see if she's still open. She's been closed for a little while and I haven't been able to get back over there. So anyway, here's what I've got left of it, and I'm going to use a piece of it on here to cover where those 2 pieces from the brim and the top of the cap meet. And then I thought I want to add a little piece of this old velvet ribbon. It's silk on one side and felt on the other. I thought about maybe seeing about adding that along the cap as well. And then we'll put the millinery flowers and laces at the last. So that's what we're going to do now. The first thing though is along this ridge line and then dropping down is to put the straps, and I'm going to glue those down and then glue the trim piece on top of it, and this hopefully will be hidden along this line and give me I'm going to actually flip that over so it'll curve the right direction. Yeah. When it's on a spool for years and years, maybe half a century or more, it has its own natural way of curving. I want to go with that. So I'm going to glue down a few inches of this ribbon up here along my seam line. On both sides with the 2 ribbons that I cut. I could have gone all the way across, I guess, but I didn't want to. I figured for looks, this is going to be enough. We're not wearing this thing, so there's that one. Check my, whoop, yeah, that'll work. I went through a bunch of my trims trying to decide on what to use, but because I wanted a certain look, you know, that hat I showed y'all, that is my inspiration. I wanted a certain look for this hat. I decided to go with this trim right here. I know it is not from the 1800s like the style of the hat is, but I don't care. This is for me to be happy with, and so this is what I'm going to do. I love that it's silky looking, and this big part right in here, it's not going to show. It's going to have that pink piece on it. So I'm going to start on this side, and right on top of that ribbon that I just glued down, and following this raw edge, I'm going to adhere this trim. And I love, love working with trims that are like braids and, oh, what are they called? The rope braids and the trims and twists and stuff. You get a lot of bang for your buck on these. Maybe not this particular one because this one's kind of expensive. But some of the others I have found are just so easy to work with and easy to find still. So, because I think you use them in curtains or upholstery or something. And I try to watch out for the ones that have already been used and pulled off, because if you look, you gotta, on like eBay or Etsy even, sometimes you have to watch out that they haven't already been used, because they will have a lot of glue, old nasty yellow glue stuck to them. So if you're looking for trims like that, watch out that it doesn't have, you know, something gross already on it, if it's been pulled off of, you know, already been used. I can a lot of times find little bags full of stuff like that at garage sales and yard sales, church sales, things like that, because people would not get rid of that stuff. So keep your eyes open. You just never know what you're going to find. I'm always surprised if I go to a sale at a church or somewhere. I'm usually shocked at what people are just, you know, getting rid of. I'm going to use Virginia Absher's idea here on ending. Thankfully, she did a video on that, on how to keep your trims from fraying. It has saved me so much trim already just by doing this little technique that she showed. And that's putting glue on the back side of your trim, just like covering the back side of it. I'll let that sit for just a second and cool down. When it comes off, it's ready to cut. And these are not very good scissors, but that's what I cut glue stuff with. The only other thing I might have to do is to make sure the edge piece right there is done. And I usually dunk it on the mat. Dunk the glue on the edge of the mat and just let that dry. And then I do it here too. And then just adhere the end down. That's done. Hold that down another second while it cools. And then we've got that part done. Okay. Put this over here. Now I want to put this little piece of pink velvet ribbon. It's got a gorgeous age to it and some pretty little crinkles. It's had some use, and I just love the look. So it's gonna do well on this little project, I think. But I gotta see if it's gonna, I don't know if it's gonna work or not. I'll put it around to the bottom on this edge, and I want to see if it'll work over the top of this one, and it may not. I may need to put it next to it. What do you think? Let me try that and see if I like that look. It's when I get to the top of the cap. This is going to have flowers and stuff on it. It's this part over here that I need to decide if I like the way it looks or not. Maybe if I just cover half of the the trim. I'm really wanting a piece of velvet right through here. And that's a pretty piece. Let me look. And it may not be the right color. I think it would work beautifully though, because some of those leaves or petals have that color in it. I'm going to try this. I'm going to glue it down a little bit at a time. And I know I'm committing myself, but that's what I want, and I'm gonna just try to make it work. And I think I'm gonna overlap just this one edge, kind of like that, and see what I get. And I'll start with it under right there. Actually, I'm going to push a little bit further and then do it. When working with velvet and a hot glue gun, and you'll be able to tell I know this from experience, do not place the nozzle of your hot glue gun on the velvet. It will melt it and leave you a nasty look. Okay? So when working with velvet, just be careful that you only work, you know, on the front side of, I'm sorry, on the back side. Don't touch that glue gun nozzle to it. I think if I do it a little bit at a time and just hold it down firmly, it's going to work fine. And I'm just going to follow this little line, this edge. I'm actually going to put it on the velvet piece instead of the trim. And that way I am assured of getting it right where I want it. Now I'm going to come around and start this little curve. And I want the hat to bend right there, right now, so that as I do it, it'll maintain, hopefully, that curve. It may look a little rumply, but it's an old hat. The style I'm trying to get, so I'm not worrying about that. I think it's going to turn out just fine. I'm excited about that. And just ease it around there. I think it's going to look just fine. This one had it came with a little rhinestone buckle. I'm going to leave that on there because I love it. Yeah, I think I like that. I moved the buckle to go kind of where I was hoping it would hit on the right side of the hat, since I'm going to have the flowers on the left side. And I cut, since it was a real buckle with a little prong, I cut the prong off. And this will finish that part. I'm going to wrap that around a little bit and then snip that little bit off. I don't want that ribbon getting in the way. Okay. Oop, it picked it back up. Those glue strings. Okay. And knowing me, I may come back and put something else on there too. Who knows? Okay, what do y'all think? Getting there? Ooh, oh, my mess. I did all that work trying to clean up my area. Y'all see how long that lasted, huh? I do need to spend the time to redo it because it's at the point now where it's encroaching and I don't have a lot of workspace, and I'm still making lace books that take up room when I'm working on them, and I don't want that to be what's all sitting here. I've also, last night, we came home and the postman had delivered a box, and I'm thankful he delivered it up here to my house because I have a very steep driveway, and he has not delivered anything here in the 1 year we've lived here. Yesterday was the 1 year anniversary, I think, or the day before, of us moving here, and it's the first package he delivered to our house. I've had to go to the post office infinite number of times over the last year, so I was expecting to do that again. Well, he left it up under our deck, which is next to the garage, but the rain goes through the deck. It dribbles all down in there. The dry, supposedly the envelopes he put on the ground, on the rock driveway, with the package on top, the big package on top, which is my new ribbon holder, which I'm doing a video on shortly. And then other packages, thankfully, that were wrapped in plastic on top of that. And they were drenched. And as soon as I pulled up, I saw them there, and I just thought, it's ruined. But thankfully, it wasn't. We got home evidently soon enough after the rain that my husband grabbed it. He said, hurry, get inside, let's open it and see what happened. Well, of course, I'm taking pictures of it the whole time sitting in the driveway. Wait, let me take pictures. And as I opened the box, it's fine. It was fine. It did not get wet. The box, it was wet. But my new rack is not wet. Anyway, it was not ruined at all. I was so happy. So I have spent yesterday evening working on it and trying to get the hat materials together. Okay, now I'm going to put the flowers on this side of the hat. What I have might be too much, so let me see. I have the big rose, which is an older piece of millinery, and this one has a pin on it, so that's going to make attaching it easy if I want to do it that way. Isn't that pretty? Y'all, I get excited at the stupidest things sometimes, but look how pretty that is right there. If I can do that on this side. Kind of make it. Y'all, I'm like a child. I'm so excited about this. Okay. If I put this down here, and don't forget I have a couple of feathers. I thought about a piece of this that way, and the other one maybe that way. And then I had these two little pinks. This might be too much, but then again, everybody was kind of flamboyant, you know. The more frills and laces, laces, the better. Which one did I pick out? There it is. I had this little beauty. It looks like it's half of a collar, and I want it scrunched up under here too. I think that's the top of it. I'm hooked there. Let go. I need that still. Okay, I'm going to put this under all that. But then I thought about tucking these little pieces, not the glue strands. I don't know, what do you think? I like that. I kind of like that. Whoops, but I remember. And then underneath it, I'm going to put this kind of scrunched up. So I'm going to scrunch this first. And using Michelle Pipeling's lovely idea, which I have used so many times, and we're going to do it again in a second. I'm going to, yes, that's the back side. I'll show you her idea because this is hers. I did not think this up. When you gather things with glue, it's hard to manipulate, especially little things like this. You know, you have to have glue in your glue gun to do it. But put a little bead of glue on your mat. Lay your piece down where you want the gather on top of the glue. And then smoosh it. A little bit at a time. Just smoosh it together while that glue is still warm. And then smoosh it some more. I'm not sticking my fingers in hot glue. This little tool is, you can use a spatula, a silicone spatula. I think the Dollar Tree is where everybody's getting their Betty Crocker red ones. I don't have a red one. I have a purple one that I got somewhere. Where is it? I think I got it at Hobby Lobby in the cake decorating area. So a silicone, you may have to go up to your kitchen and grab it out of a drawer if you already have one. So anyway, that's how I have learned how to gather from Michelle with glue. I'm loving that. And I really smashed some glue out of that, so I'm just going to trim the excess off. And now I have this lovely little piece that I can use underneath those little flowers. So let's see. I think I will go ahead and start by attaching this with its little pin. Right here. Yeah. And y'all, pins are hard to work with. Get it into the felt a little bit, not just the fabric. Woo. Okay, that was rough. That's in there, and I want it to stay forever now, so I'm going to go ahead and glue that right where it's at. So it'll be a little stabler. It's kind of, since it's such a three-dimensional object, it's not going to glue really great right there, but it'll at least tack down a little bit better. Okay. Now before I put these little pieces on, or the flowers that I made, I'm going to tuck this piece in. Dry. I'm not gluing it yet. And I'm going to find out if that's the spot I really want that to go. This one I was going to put down. This one I was going to put up, and I'm going to need to trim those little stems. Kind of tuck that up under there, I think. Yeah, let me go ahead and cut these off. It's going to make it easier to work with. I do. They're so sweet. I love these. As soon as I thought about making a hat, these were the first things that came to mind. Oh, I've got to use those. I want enough room then to tuck the bigger of these little roses. Okay, hold your horse there. Nope, I want that lace further out, I can tell now. Okay, so I'm not going to do the lace up under, I'm going to do it about that far away from the flower. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that in a few spots. It's not going to need much. Just kind of tack that on there. I'm going to tack this one on. I'm going to put that leaf down onto the lace. This little piece, bend that a little bit and get it going. Tack that little baby right here. Glue that stem on there. On my little flowers, I always have a good side and a bad side on my flowers. Here where I've tucked the edge under is the bad side to me. I want this part to be open. So I'm going to tuck this little guy up under here like that. That direction. This is fun. Oh, I really didn't want you underneath that. There. There's that. And then this little one I want up here on my bad side. About right. Yes, I like that. And I'm going to need to tack that down right there too. Okay. Foof it up a little bit and see how that looks. Nice. Oh, I'm so excited. This is, yeah. What do you think? Like it? I kind of like that. Now I'm going to need to do the feathers still and decide if I want those. But on the very back of the cap, I have decided to use these little pieces. And let me set that aside. I'm going to do the same thing on these that Michelle, her idea of, I think that's the better side, gathering with the glue. Double check. Yep. So I'm gonna do a real thin one here. And I'm just gonna start pushing that up. This one's gonna go under the back of the cap, and it's going to finish off the back part of the hat. And I wanted it to be gathered and fuller around where the hair, the back of the hair would be. So I'm going to do that on both of these. Make sure I find the front, definitely. Do this again. I'm going to hold that up. It's got a bit of a curve to it. This one does. Sorry I'm taking so long. one more little piece here. Love this. Michelle, if you ever watch one of my videos and I'm showing this, I always try to give you credit for it because you're where I learned it from. If y'all haven't seen Michelle's videos, go check it out. She's incredible. So many cool things and ideas. I watch Michelle's videos all the time. Michelle Pipeling at Ribbons, Roses, and Lace. And she has a Just Add Glue with Ribbons, Roses, and Lace. That's her channel. Okay, so here's the back of the hat. Underneath, on the underside, is where I'm going to do this attaching from where the ribbon is all the way around. So let me flip this. Make sure I have my front side going to the front of the hat. There's that one. Front side to the front of the hat. And here's that one. And give it just a second here to set. And then the magic moment when we have finished the hat. Ta-da! There it is, y'all. What do you think? I'll be happy seeing that sitting around here. I may come back and join that where those two pieces meet, but it's not noticeable, so I may not go to the trouble. There is the first hat. I liked it. I hope y'all do. Thank y'all for watching, and thank you for your comments and your help along the way. I am going to come back. I'll probably not show you until a future video when I'm doing something different. But I am going to come back and I'll show you the end of it on the inside, because obviously we did not finish off the inside. I was telling y'all about adding a piece of the buckram to help stabilize this. It needs it. It's not as floppy as it was, though. I'll tell you that much. It might, you know, it might be able to sit there for a while, but ultimately I'm going to finish it off with another piece of silk, possibly something to line the inside of it. So anyway, there's the hat. I hope y'all liked it.